Yes, the groove is down.
Hey guys, and welcome back to The Groove. And today I am here with Hue Hinton and
Perfect.
one of his lovely bandmates from the Greydyant.
This is
Um,
Yes,
going.
ingredient.
uh, thank you guys for coming on Zoom. I know we had like some technicalities, but we made it. We made it work.
Yeah.
Um, but today we're gonna talk about Hugh's latest and greatest EP that just dropped called Starfish. Dropped January 30th. Yeah, if you guys have any opening, like, what is this EP to you, I guess? Introduce the EP, if you will.
This EP, so it is a reflection of all the work that I have been writing for the past, I would say like year and a half. And this is my lovely friend Mark, also plays drums.
Oh yeah.
But not only does he play drums, Mark got some nice recording equipment like a year and a half ago, and this was like a test to really see how far we could push ourselves in like the beginning stages of learning how to use it. Um, Along with all the songs I wrote, we kind of combined forces, and that's why I want to have Mark on today because he was pretty much there for the whole process of making this project. But yeah, Starfish is
About spaces.
it's about spaces.
Oh yeah.
Um, I don't know if you ever have like you ever just sitting on at, like 3 p.m. on like a Tuesday at like work, in class, in the park, and you don't really have much to think about. You're just kind of like sitting there, and there's just like space that you're trying to fill with thought, speech, sound, anything that really kind of captivates the senses. It's kind of, I would say it's like a reflection of filling that space and
Mhm.
kind of, yeah, it's I don't know. I think I put more work into these songs than I've ever put into any music before. Um, and I really tried to get good at songwriting and just breaking down sections and then being able to put them together and really make it feel sincere.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I guess I'll give a backstory on some inspiration that kind of started this project. Um, in 2020, like the beginning of 2024, I was my girlfriend Paige and we had plans to go to New York for our friend's birthday, and we bought these bus tickets, these Flixbus tickets.
Mhm.
Um, and the bus was at like 2 p.m. on a Saturday. We lived in different places and I didn't have a car. So I asked if I could like use her car to go back and like change and take a shower and get ready to go to New York. And she was like, yeah, of course. So I'm driving, get my stuff together. And then on the way back, I'm like, she let me use her car. I'm gonna do something nice. I went to Starbucks to get her a cake pop,
Mm.
cake pops. Uh, and I'm leaving Starbucks. I'm trying to pull out of a parking space. Long story short, I pull out as someone is coming down this one-way
No,
road, crashed. It's a whole
no.
three-person crash. Like this car dominoed me into the
My
truck in
God.
front of me. And it was this whole thing. It wasn't even, it was a fender bender for them, but her car got totaled and I felt like so incredibly bad. Um,
Oh.
but this guy in this truck, he started like he wasn't like yelling at me, but he kept saying personal stuff. He was like, "How old are you?" I'm like 23. He's like, "You gotta get your stuff together, man." I'm like, "What?" I just got I'm shocked. I was like, "Oh my God." But it kind of stuck with me.
Damn.
And I was like, "What am I doing?" Like, I don't know. I just graduated college. I'm
Mhm.
working in a restaurant. Um, well, all my friends were kind of starting to figure out their careers, getting into like corporate life or
Hmm.
Doesn't have to be corporate, but just, figuring out what they want to do. And all I've ever want to do is just make music for a living and just understand like the process behind it and also be able to put that into practice.
Yeah.
But this guy was like, "What are you doing? Like, you got to get your stuff together." And I was like, "Dang, like it's kind of mean, but it's
Yeah.
it stuck with me." And I was like, I really want to get good at like songwriting specifically. Like,
Hmm.
grew up making beats and just, I would say a lot of it was like production based. I had so much fun just like, making beats,
Hmm.
doing a lot of electronic stuff. And I grew up playing piano, but I never really put too much thought into like the actual songwriting process. Um, and after this song, or after that whole crash, I spent like a year really just focusing in on writing. And then 2025 comes around in January of 2025. Um, I I was still 23 and this record label reached out and they wanted to sign me to a distribution deal. Um,
Hmm.
and I was like, this is the first like record deal I've ever
Yeah.
received. It was, I don't know, my ego was so inflated. And I called my mom. I was like, guess what just happened? It was so cool, but it was like the deal was trash. It was like I don't even want to get into the terms of it, but yeah, she was strongly, everyone that I talked to was like advising me against it. And I was like, yeah, it's probably not a smart idea.
Yeah.
But part of the terms of the contract was write 9 new songs, and then they get to license, not buy, but license all of my pre-existing catalog.
Whoa.
I pretty much just had rights over all of my music, and then the next 9 songs that I were to make. Um, I ended up thinking about it for like a few weeks,
Hmm.
did not take it, and I was like, instead, I'm gonna write like the best music I've ever wrote in my life and just really focus on that. I'm gonna
Hmm.
like every week I would track by hours how much I was like actually writing. Um, just to kind of make sure that I know that I'm like on track and like I'm really trying to better myself in this practice. Um, Flash forward like 8 months after that, I had like 40 songs that were I had started writing. I would say like 20 to 30 were finished. Um,
Wow.
and Mark had this recording equipment that he could bring anywhere to record. And I have a basement, just open space with instruments, and we started recording them. And then it took us, I would say,
About a year and a half.
about a
Yeah.
year and a half. So like 2024 into early 2025, like
Mhm.
April to May, I was writing, but I think we started recording in like February of 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was more like a year
Yeah.
recording. And yeah, I mean, it only produced 5 songs that like we felt comfortable releasing. Mark had more that he thought we should release, but I
I
was
always want to
like,
do more. I always want to put out more. But now we really narrowed down like what the best songs were that he put together and really came together like super DIY, all in the basement.
yeah.
And I don't know, I think it was just like I saw Hugh had a vision and I still remember that day you came home. It was like after getting yelled at, he was like shook, but like he said, he really like started grinding, really started like dedicating himself, and then we have a beautiful project because of it. So yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
long time coming. And yeah, we had so much fun making this project. Mark was like honestly the brains behind actually like recording engineering on this whole
Mhm.
project. We do work with a mixing engineer and a mastering engineer, Joe and Nick. Um, but we kind of came to them with every recording like
Mhm.
already set so they could just get to work on mixing and mastering. And that didn't take too long, but like back to like kind of the overall theme of the project, I feel like Starfish itself, like, oh, here's some hidden gems
Hidden
behind it.
Ooh.
5 songs, Starfish, 5 legs, right?
Ah.
I didn't even think about that until after. It kind of
You're
hinted.
like, I'm a genius, but actually, I didn't even think about it until I put it out.
subconscious genius.
Um, but yeah, I feel like my whole life I've been like drawn to the beach,
Mm,
and it's kind of like this feeling of like the waves, gravity, like it's the push and pull, the yin and yang of the world.
hmm
And you get shot down, and it's all about how you get back to the base, but you're always gonna get back to the base. Like sometimes it might be uglier than others. And yeah, like I feel like I was making music before college, in college, but like post college, seeing my friends and just people getting into their careers, I was like, I feel kind of washed up. Like, I don't know. I always make music just because it feels good and will continue to do that for the rest of my life. But I just felt like, where am I going with this? What do I want to do with this? And it's this feeling of like you're kind of just a starfish like on the seafloor, and you regenerate, like about like a starfish and how they regenerate
Yeah,
legs.
yeah, yeah. You cut off one leg, it comes back a little later.
Comes back a little later. And that's it all comes back to that theme of like the yin and yang of the
Mhm.
universe. Um, the first song, I crashed my car. It wasn't actually my car, it's my girlfriend's car.
Right.
Um, but yeah, if you listen to the lyrics, like the first line is, "You thought today would never end. Well, it's done." So it's like you can breathe,
Mhm.
it might feel like everything's crashing in on you, but then you kind of zoom out and it's like, oh, the day's done. Like we got
Yeah.
tomorrow. It's time to regenerate and just get back to it.
Mhm.
And I think that's a huge theme of the project, is just getting back. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I specifically remember like before this EP was even in talks of like coming out or anything, like no one knew about it. But you performed at Milk Boy with Bristol Tooth and Mars Council.
Oh
And
Mhm.
you
yeah.
played I Crashed My Car on like acoustic guitar. And I
Hmm.
will never forget that performance because it was so good. It was like I brought a few of my friends who hadn't, I don't think they'd seen you, or maybe they had, I can't like remember. But we were all just like, oh my God, that song is so good. And I was like, it's not out on streaming because I remember I went to Spotify to look for it and it wasn't there. And then I got so mad. I was like, no, I have to wait until like forever because usually when you see a DIY show, it's like you can hear a song you love and you might never see it get released ever. So I was like, oh my God, I hope so. And then I opened the EP and I was like, oh my God, there it is. It was like the best thing ever. But
Oh,
that song hits. It's like such a, I think it gets, because it's fun interviewing a musician a second time because you can like call back some of the stuff that we talked about before.
hmm.
And I remember one of the bigger themes of our last interview was talking about how you went from like R&B into like spacey indie music.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like I Crashed My Car like really gets you into that the spacey, like you said that this is about spaces, trying to fill spaces. And I think
Hmm.
it really like it just like transports you into the
Hell yeah.
mindset you need for the rest of the EP, if that makes any sense.
100%.
Yeah.
But
It,
yeah, it's definitely a good opener, especially for the themes you're now explaining.
well, I appreciate the love.
Yeah, I definitely think it was like that was like the first like real professional song, like really developed, like you were saying, like about like songwriting and like really thinking out things like that was a perfect way, like you said, to start it off and like really show everything that you've done and like how much you've evolved and all that stuff. So but yeah, I remember when you first it was I don't know, couldn't have been 2 weeks, 3 weeks after like you actually crashed that car that we wrote that he wrote the song and like showed it to us. We were living together at that time. And yeah, that was just I knew right away that was gonna be a great song. And then the
Mhm.
other songs just kind of flew after.
Yeah, it was a long time coming, but I'm so happy it turned out the way it did because I feel like it, like kind of like what you were saying, it kind of sets you up for the rest of the project, and
Mhm.
you can, it's more of like a feeling, like you
Yeah.
listen to it for that feeling. It's kind of hard to explain. Like I did just explain the project for like 5 minutes, like oh, but when you listen to it, it's like I don't know, it's like a feeling you get in your chest. It's like, okay. I don't know. It's hard to put into words, but
Yeah.
just listening to it, like I feel like since I started making music, that's the flame that keeps me going. If I get
Mhm.
that exact feeling that I
Yeah.
can't exactly put into words, but you feel it in your chest. It almost takes you out of where you are. Me and or I don't know, Mark and I are daydreamers. We are dreamers, and we will continue to dream.
Got big dreams.
And
Got a lot coming down the road.
there's luck.
Oh
There's a
yeah.
lot.
Tuned.
Um, but yeah, I feel like another special part of this project, this is for the daydreamers. This is for anyone who has some sort of vision
Mhm.
and they want to see that vision to its fullest potential. And yeah,
I always feel like there's a lot of like awning in his music. Like you can just hear like I mean it's like we all have those feelings like where we want to be and where we're at now. And I feel like with Crash Car and with like the whole project itself, like you can really feel and I felt like when recording and when doing all this, like I wanted to get on that same feeling of awning and wanting to be better, being a daydreamer and doing all these things. So I think it's like not that we don't love Philly, but it's always that you want to get somewhere bigger. You want to
Mhm.
like
yeah,
you see your friends, your peers going places, you want to go places too.
yeah.
You want to like
I will
become
say
dreamers.
we are like huge. I'll probably die in Philadelphia.
Oh.
I'll probably die. But I do want to see the world, and I'm sure same thing goes for Mark. And I don't know. It's like the owning aspect of it, but also it's just like I don't know. Like it's not that we don't appreciate where we are with this. Like I think it's enjoying the journey to get
Mhm.
the next place is huge when you are dreaming about something or when you're trying to fulfill a vision. And I don't know. That's why I didn't try to rush this project at all. It was kind of like take
Mhm.
your time with it, just realize these songs to the most they can be realized.
Yeah.
Um, and enjoy the process. Like
Mhm.
we didn't in the past, I've released singles and kind of been on this wave where it's like, oh, I need to get a song out. And just like I want people to hear this stuff because I think it's good, but I want other people to hear it. And with this project, I don't know, the project was like fully written probably like 8 months before it was actually released.
Mhm.
But it took a while to get to that point of feeling like comfortable enough to release it just to make sure like it really did fill that vision. And
Yeah.
like you listen through the whole project and back to that kind of like you hear it and you feel this feeling inside of you, and it's kind of exciting.
Mhm.
It's more than words can describe. But yeah, we are so happy it's finally out, and I don't know, the feedback has been amazing. Um, and yeah, we're gonna play some shows to
Woohoo.
we got a few shows coming
Few
up in the
shows
next
lined up.
month.
Hopefully more.
Yeah, hopefully more. And we're trying to do a tour maybe end of summer, early fall. So that's
Booked and busy.
keep busy. Well, yeah, I gotta work my other two jobs. No, maybe.
Everything on top of another thing. But for the listeners, right now we're going to take a little listen to I Crashed My Car because we were talking about it so much. But I hope you guys enjoy, and here we go. And once again, that was I Crashed My Car by Hue Hinton. Hope you guys enjoyed and took a deeper look at it because I can only give you 5 seconds, unfortunately. Copyright issues, but whatever. But to kind of dive into the talk about like um wanting to like go places, but not really having the facilities or just feeling like you're stuck and everyone else is kind of moving. Your next song, I feel like the title fit like what it's called kind of fits what we're speaking of better late than never. Like, yes, you might feel stuck now, but like maybe in the future you could do it. And it's like, okay, you can do it then. So it's better late than never, I guess. So like what goes into or went into the writing of like this song and the mindset you had behind this specific song, I guess.
This one was this one was written right around the same time Fountain of the Seahorses was written.
Mm.
Very similar theme where it's feeling like you are stuck in a place and you have this desire to venture out of this place, but you kind of feel stuck and but it all comes back to you. So like in the song, part of the first verse, it's like standstill, hesitation, been a long time, always waiting for a reason, hibernator. Um, and then the next line is hold a gun high, now I'm anxious, shooting signals, starting races, but I'm still here, stuck at base camp. Should I still go? And then it goes into it's better late than never. And I think that one, it does tie exactly into like you have the power. You have the power to make that change in your life if you want to do something. It all comes back to you. Doubt is something I've faced all my life. Like personal doubt, I grew up very anxious and I don't know. I when I was younger, I had a hard time making friends and just seeing other kids socialize and it was hard for me because I would get this heavy social anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I made a really good friend who kind of helped introduce me to other people and like helped me realize it's not that deep,
Yeah.
like as deep as you think it is. And it's crazy that I'm thinking about this right now. That was a while ago. And then I don't know, like going into, I would say like high school, it was, I would make this music, like I would make these beats, and my friends would come over and they'd like freestyle rap over them.
Mm-hmm.
It was always for fun, but we ended up like starting to record because this one guy came over and he wanted to hear the music. We'd be talking to other people about it, and he's like, "Oh, let me hear." So he came over and he was like, "This needs to be like out."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "No, it's not going. It's not going. This is like trash. I'm not putting this out." Like, but it ended up, I don't know, I thought about it and I ended up releasing that doubt. It took a while. I think it took external validation,
Mm-hmm.
which doesn't necessarily need to happen. Like at the end of the day, it needs to come from you. And I just remember like people started to come up to me in the hallways in high school and be like, "I heard your song, like it
Oh.
it's really good." And I was like, honestly, I'm so happy I did this because I feel like I'm starting to find something that I really enjoy. And that, I don't know, I think that really got me into just wanting to become a musician,
Mm-hmm.
pursue it as my life's work, and just figure out how I can get better at this, how I can really realize myself through just sounds and vibrations. And um it kind of ties back into that feeling of like being stuck. You know, you're not happy with where you are in life, and you have this desire to do something. Like, to anyone who might hear this, if you have a desire to do anything in life, like, it comes back to you. You have to be able to put your foot down and say, I'm going for it. And I promise you will feel like, regardless of the outcome, you will feel so much better and happier with the fact that you made that choice. You know, it's, I think, a huge part of life in the 25 years that I've lived on this earth, and something that brings me happiness
Mhm.
is finding purpose. Um, but finding that purpose has to come from you. And if you have like a desire to do something, why not go for it? You know, like, doubt can really clog your mind, but if you're able to overcome that and, you know, take that leap of faith, I think purpose is fulfilled and life starts to feel better.
Yeah, for sure. And I can say for myself, like I'm not an anxious person, I'm nothing like that, but I have the same issues. Like every day I'm like I not every day, but like most of the time I'm spending time editing my podcast, interviewing people, like scheduling time out of my time to talk to people I don't really know. It's like why am I wasting my time on this? I think about that all the time. And this isn't even that taxing on me. It's just like, why am I doing this? And then I watch a video back or like something, or someone's like, I watched your episode. I actually really enjoyed it. Like, da 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 da. And it's just like, you have to find if you're happy doing it or if you're not happy doing it. And I love doing this, but sometimes I'm like, oh my God, it's Sunday and I just want to sleep and I don't want to talk to anybody. But then it's fine because I love talking to people. So then it's okay. But
Right.
back to like the external, like people telling you if you should do it or if you shouldn't do it. I think it's very important to have the support, I guess. Because, like
Hmm.
you said, like having someone be like right there telling you that it's good and that you need to put it out, it's almost like you can't see it yourself because you're like so in your own brain and you're not able to like get it out of there. You just need like someone else. But then once it's like you know what you're happy doing and someone else is like, no, don't do that. Get a corporate job. And then you're like, but like I don't want to do that. That's when it's like, okay, leave me alone. Get your external voices away from me and let me live.
Yeah.
It's a weird balance, but I think we're all trying to figure it out.
Yeah. That's that's so true. I think I don't know. Life is lifing. And
Life is
Life do be life and
um yeah. I don't know. If you like playing basketball and you want to be in the NBA, work your butt off.
right.
Try to get to the NBA regardless of what happens. At least you tried, you know, and you probably enjoyed yourself in the process because that's what you want to do.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, for the listeners, we're now going to listen to Better Late Than Never off of Starfish, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and here we go. Does that one work? Oh!
Oh, there it is. There it is. There the fireworks. There the fireworks.
It did both. That was crazy. Um, okay. Now, we have three more songs on the EP to talk about. But the next one is Nights Without. Now, I don't have much to add on this one because I'm not a lyric girl. I will say that right now. I have to listen to an album like 15 times before I start piecing together the lyrics. I'm like more of like an instrumental person. So this is why I'm loving this conversation because now when I go listen to this EP again, I'm gonna be like, oh my God, genius.
Makes sense.
I'm the same way. I am like absolutely a like the sound of it first, and then
Hmm.
um I can't say the same thing about my girlfriend. She actually got me more into lyrics.
Ah.
Um, and she'll critique my lyrics too sometimes in a good way. But she's like, "What are you trying to say?" I'm like, "You know what?
Mhm.
Question."
Good question. I don't know. I don't know. Because honestly, like sometimes I'll listen to a song and I will love it. And then I start piecing together the lyrics and I'm like, I don't really like this message that y'all are putting out there, but you know what? I still like the song. It's like whatever. But that's just how I roll. But for Nights Without, what is this song? What are you guys trying to portray in this song, I guess?
Um, this one, I guess let me give you a backstory. I was in San Diego last summer and my girlfriend was in Belgium. She
Mm.
was doing a trip with her sister, and I feel like I see her like 5 to 6 to 7 times a day, and or not a day, a week. But we don't spend that much time apart.
Hmm.
And I just remember like it might have been some sort of withdrawal, but I was like having a really hard time enjoying San Diego of all places. Like it's the
Yeah.
most beautiful weather. It was right on the beach. One of my best friends from high school lives out there, and we went to visit him. But I just remember like on the plane ride home, it was like 5 days of not seeing my girlfriend. And this might sound like OD, but I don't know. Like it really, for anyone, like Mark has a really close relationship. I'm sure you feel the same way
Oh
after
yeah.
like not being with them for like a certain amount of time. And I'm sure that's a very common feeling. But that's kind of the premise of this one. And I just remember I was on the plane ride home from San Diego and I just started writing down like my feelings, and that's what turned into this song. Um, but that's like the overall premise of it, and it's like I don't know, sometimes I like my girlfriend and I don't live together right now, and some nights I'll be home alone and just like sitting on my couch and I feel like I'm rotting and I just like miss her,
Oh.
and that's like I wish we were together right now. I feel like I would be a lot happier and not feel like a piece of crap just sitting on this couch watching like old
Aw.
movies. Um, I don't know, but yeah, this one is probably the most lyrical in terms of like the most amount of lyrics. It's
Hmm.
the longest song on the EP, but yeah, it dives into that feeling of you just feel like you're sinking away and someone can rescue you from that, but it's not like you don't have that right now. And
Hmm.
it's a love song. That's what it is. It's a love song.
Oh, how
Uh,
sweet. Well, speaking of Paige, I'm wearing her mascara right now.
hey,
Oh yeah, there you go.
yes.
Woo!
Hair
Got it off.
cosmetics.
Yeah, it's pretty lit, guys.
How do you like it?
It's awesome. I love it.
Amazing.
I'm
Amazing.
like nearing the end of it though, and I'm like, no, I have to buy more. I have to clean out my tube and I have to get more.
Oh, bright side, you don't have to buy a whole new container.
There
You
you
can
go.
reuse your
That's what
current
I'm
container.
saying. I'm saving the planet and supporting cool people. What's not to love about that? Like
Please,
what the
please.
heck? Um, and we have the song. This is like my favorite song on the EP.
Very nice.
Fountain of the Seahorses. Such a banger. It's literally such a banger. And I remember like at your EP release, like everyone was going crazy for this song. specifically. They were like, "Oh my God."
Of
Which, thank you for inviting me to that. That was so much fun.
That was
course,
a great
of
night.
course.
That had to have been awesome for you guys to like look out and it's all of your friends and they know all the words and it's just so fun.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have anything to say
Well,
about that.
I kept telling people, I haven't told Hugh, I was like, tonight felt like a historical night. Like it just had
Mhm.
that energy in the air, like that atmosphere. And it was all the special people that were there, like our friends, our family. And
Day one supporters.
yeah, and we recorded it live, so that also helped with different stuff down the road. And it was just like a really great, like everything went perfect that night.
Hmm.
And it was a historical night. We'll look back on that night one day and just like see how far we've come and see how far we're going.
Mhm.
And yeah, that was a great night.
And you're
Yeah.
like still riding the high from releasing it too, because it was literally the day before. It
Oh
was
yeah.
so much fun. It was so fun.
Yeah, we did a lot of stuff for that. For anyone who was not able to make it, we put like all these. Oh wait, I think I have one over here. It's like a little Hawaiian flower necklace. We put them like on my ceiling fan. We got plants to hang from the ceiling too. But yeah, it's back to Fountain of the Seahorses.
Yes.
This one was the first finished song of the whole project. So I wanted to release it as a single.
Hmm.
And again, this one just it stays consistent to the overall theme of like, kind of feeling like you're kind of stuck in this place and you're yearning for direction.
Hmm.
You want to grow, you want to escape, and yeah, I think it's important for people to know like there's always more life. Life is life is a whole journey. And Found in the Seahorses, if you're familiar, it's like a landmark by the art museum.
Hmm.
And I used to go over there when I was writing this, at least the lyrics. I would go over to the art museum and would sit on this bench or I'd be walking around just trying to collect my feelings into writing. And I remember I had this idea. It's like, oh, it feels like you don't know how to get old. Um,
That's like my favorite lyric. I'm not a lyric girl, but I love that lyric so much. Because it's like, it's just the lyric, but then I feel like there's just like so much to it. Because I'm graduating college in May. So I'm like, this song is like hitting me like a truck every time I listen to it. Because I'm like, damn, I don't know how to get, like, I feel like I'm still 17. Like, what,
that,
like, I'm gonna be looking for a job and like, I've been here for 4 years and I'm like, no, I'm 17 years old. I'm gonna go to Wawa and get a slushie at midnight and like
hell yeah.
go
That's
insane like every weekend, but it's like I'm now becoming like more of an adult. It's
yeah.
freaky,
Yeah.
but
Scary feeling.
not to
Like,
cut you off, but I love that lyric. So
no, you're all good. I appreciate that. It's yeah, I feel like that's probably a common feeling for anyone, in their early 20s, just trying to
Mhm.
figure life out. And it's such a scary time. Like, I think it's because you're coming out of like that adolescence and like even being a teenage like adult, like if
Mhm.
you're 18, 19 years old, um, it's it's really scary and it's trying to like feel like you're growing up. It feels so important to you and it's like, okay, like time keeps going, but where am I going?
Yeah.
And that's like I remember I was sitting on this bench and I recorded a voice memo. Like I had a melody in my head for this lyric. And have you ever done voice memos and it like tracks your location?
Yes.
It said Fountain of the Seahorses when I
Oh.
recorded it. And that's why I named the song because I was like, honestly, I'm not even gonna think twice about it. Like I just let people listen to it. But the fact that it's like in Philadelphia, it's in the city that I love so much, I felt like it felt real, it felt sentimental, and it made sense. But also found the seahorses right back into that ocean. Right.
Mhm.
We're going into the ocean. We're going for a swim. But it's yeah, it's a scary feeling, and I think it's important that people know they're not alone. You know,
Yeah.
everyone goes through this unless you have no feeling at all. You're probably gonna get some form of anxiety or some form of just what I won't curse, but what am I doing?
You
What
can.
am I doing? What am I doing here? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to get old. Like I feel
Mhm.
like I'm just like you said, I feel like I'm 17. I
Mhm.
am 25 now. That was 8 years ago.
Yep.
But when I wrote the song, it felt like I was a teenager again. And even now with my jobs, I'm working trying to be like professional, and I'm like like I don't know. I guess I'll give you some backstory. I serve at a restaurant and I'm a music teacher as well.
Oh.
But like when I'm serving at a restaurant and I say something stupid, I'm like, uh, uh, am I like, I don't know how to talk to people. I feel like a kid again.
Yeah.
I feel like a kid again. Um, and yeah, I feel like that's just been a huge thing that's been weighing over my head. And back to that whole like crashing Paige's car and this guy like telling me to get my stuff together. It's like, am I growing up or am I just kind of living this life, living this dream, like
Mhm.
this childhood dream? Am I not getting old? I'm seeing all my friends like get jobs, but then when I talk to them, they like everyone's kind of in this same boat. Like if you're early 20s, it doesn't even have to be early 20s. Like I was talking to my coworker about this and he's like, I feel like he's 33 and he was like, I still feel like a teenager sometimes.
Mhm.
And then I've talked to my mom about it. She's like, I still feel like I'm figuring out what I'm doing. And it makes you feel better, you know, it makes you feel like
Yeah.
you're not. And that's where I wanted to go when I was writing this song, you know, let people know they're not alone. It's
Mhm.
a common feeling. But yeah.
No, for sure. I feel like everyone's kind of feeling a little dumb. Like it's all our first time here. That's why like when people are like 80 and they still like mess up or like they're not, I don't know, they're not like the nicest people on the planet. It's like gotta give them a little bit of a leeway because it's like this is their first time being 80. Like they don't know what they're doing either. So they could feel like they're 12. We have no idea. You don't know what someone else is feeling. Like I literally feel like I'm 17 every day. And there was one day that I was driving into the city and I like everything just like clicked. I was
Mm,
like I was at a bar last night and I'm driving actively into Philadelphia in a car by myself
mm,
going back to school. That's college, not high school, college. And I was like, and I'm graduating in like 2 months. And I was like, okay, you're not 17, girlfriend. Like, you gotta wake up. Like, this is crazy. You're 22 years old. And it was just such a weird, it was such a crazy feeling because it came out of nowhere. Like,
yeah.
literally nowhere. And it just felt like I got hit by a truck. And I was like,
Ah.
what the hell? Like, I was like, I'm old. I'm not actually old. But I was like, I feel old. It was really weird. Funky feeling. Very funky
Well,
feeling.
we're not alone.
No.
I feel you like heavy. I feel like I wake up like so many mornings and I just feel like I got hit by a bus.
Hmm.
Or like SEPTA 12 just hit me in broad daylight. Ah.
Not the SEPTA.
Oh.
Um, but for the listeners now, so you know what we're talking about, we're gonna listen to Nights Without and Fountains of the Seahorse or Fountain of the Seahorses, not fountains. And I hope you guys enjoy these next two songs. And here we go.
I'm burnt from the day doing meaningless shit. I know to be right.
And once again, that was Nights Without and Fountain of the Seahorses. Yes, by Hue Hinton. I wish I could do that. I have a Windows. I'm lame.
We'll do does it do the hearts?
Does it work? Does the heart one work? I always try to do it on my phone and I have a really hard time. It never picks me up. Is that
That's
a
it.
thing?
Jazz hands? Talk about jazz. We'll talk your ear off about jazz.
Yeah, we won't go into jazz.
Unless you want to.
There's a little jazz,
This
little
is your
jazz on the
guy.
album. A little bit of jazz on the album.
Just a tad.
It's a little bit.
Well, our last song is Glimmer to talk about. And I honestly love the production on this one the most. I don't know why. Like this might be so off base because most of the time with music I am a little off base because I don't really know what I'm fully talking about. But it kind of gave me like neighborhood vibes, just a tad. Like
Okay.
their newer album specifically.
Yeah.
But what is this song kind of talking about, and how was this one sort of recorded and like produced and all that other stuff?
Well, first, I want to give a shout out to my friend Nate Harrison, who helped write and produce this song. We actually wrote it in this is probably the oldest song in terms of just writing alone on the whole project. But Nate and I went over to Nate's house in, I think, before the car was crashed. So this was pre-car crash. Uh, and yeah, we had been friends from Drexel. Nate is this amazingly talented musician. And yeah, we started writing this song. Um, I felt like it was about kind of feeling like you're free from, you feel stuck, but it's more of like that feeling of you're free from that, and that might go right back down. But it's kind of catching that moment where you feel free, um, and just appreciating it. And I think it also ties into my relationship with my lovely girlfriend. Um, for instance, the chorus used to notice what was not, then I found you. Now I notice what I've got, and I've got you. Um, and I think like just her in my life, she has given me that feeling of freedom and
Mhm.
this, it's like a blissful, like it's a very satisfying, like comforting, safe feeling.
Mhm.
And I feel like that can apply regardless of relationships. That can apply to like any anything good in life. If you're able to feel that high or, capture that moment and
Mhm.
just kind of appreciate it. I feel like that was a huge inspiration for writing this song. But that's just lyrics. I think the production and writing, like the chord progressions and kind of like this spacey kind of saturated production that I've been on. Um, it also ties into that. It's refreshing, and the chords specifically, it feels good. But we'd been sitting on that song for like a year, and Nate texted me out of the blue. I was like getting out of a lesson with a 9-year-old, and it was a long day. And I just remember like I was so done, and then Nate texted me the song, and I completely forgot about it. He's like, "Are you ever releasing this?" Like, I was like, "You know what? I completely forgot about this. I would love to. I would love to. We're
Mhm.
working on an EP right now. I think I want to reproduce it." And that's where Mark came in. And Mark and I, with the help of our other friend Jack, who is a huge part of this project as well, playing guitar. Um, Jack also wrote that lead intro to Crash, I Crashed My Car. Da-na-da-da-da-da-da. But back to the story of Glimmer. Yeah, we pretty much took what the song was and kind of took out certain parts that Nate and I had made in the original version, but catered it to the production of the rest of the album to kind of make it feel more cohesive.
Mhm.
Um, and it came together in this incredible way.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with like the end of the song, but Mark goes into like this crazy
Mhm.
like drumming part. And I was like, he was just messing around when we first did it. But I think this song took the longest to get the
Forever.
drums
Took
out of
forever.
any other song. And I think I'll let you speak on this in a sec, but like I think Mark was like so frustrated from how long it took. And he just let loose in the end of the song, but it
Mhm.
was so sick. Like, oh you
Yeah, I think that took much longer than we expected. I don't know. It was like 9 or 10 takes. And it just kept feeling like wrong, kept feeling wrong. Because
Mhm.
I think one really cool thing about this song, like it really bridges you now as an artist and like what you were on Out Loud. Because it is so old in the fact that when you originally wrote it, it had like electronic drums and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So it was like it had all like the bones to be really good. And then just trying to get that and put like the real drums on it and get it all because I feel like it's kind of like a dance song. But like
Mhm.
when we originally the original drum parts that I was trying to do with it's kind of more like the kind of spacey. So
It's kind of R&B
yeah.
ish.
So yeah, take after take, we kept getting closer and closer. And like you said, on that final take, I was just so done with it. And on a lot of these on a lot of the raw recordings, you have me yelling like at the end because I'm just frustrated and I'll just be yapping at him. But
Oh my God, there was one point
we
where
had to
Mark
cut that
was
out.
like, "Can you just turn it down? Like the drums are way too loud." And I was like, "Whoa, chill."
So,
Um,
but out of that, out of all that, out of the anger, not anger, but frustration, and it really came together cool. And I think we like just sped it up like a couple BPMs or like,
oh
and then it
yeah,
just like all came together, and it was that's one of my favorite songs on the album because it
yeah,
is like old you, new you, like it just has like a really cool like space to it, and like that was fun. When it finally came together, it was very rewarding.
yes. And it
No, it is
felt
really
the right
good.
end of the project. Like it was like I wanted to leave the project like ending on a good note, and I
Mhm.
because that song like kind of captures this like nice, safe, good feeling. It was important to have it as the last song on the project. But yeah.
It's definitely a good wrap up for sure. And for the listeners, now we're gonna listen to Glimmer to wrap up the episode. But here we
Yeah.
go. And once again, that was Glimmer by Hue Hinton to end off Starfish. Ta-da! Um, but now is your little plug hour. So you have a awesome little festival show coming up that I
Yes.
wanted to ask you about because that's so awesome. I saw you post it and I was like, no way. And then also, sorry, I'm like glazing you for a second, but I saw a distro kid like ad on TikTok
Oh
and
my
it
God.
was you. It's like, I know him.
I am dead. I am dead. That was so random, dude. They hit me up. I guess they randomly, I don't know how they found me or why they chose me, but they were like, "Hey, like, do you want to be in like a DistroKid ad?" And I was like, yeah."
Like, duh.
I mean, I feel like it's very on brand, indie, DIY. We
Mhm.
are this whole project.
Super
I
talented.
am so proud of Mark and everyone else who came together to put this together because we were working with like a zero
Big
dollar
team.
budget
Oh
and we
yeah.
did
Oh.
this all from home. Um, but yeah, I guess back to that DistroKid ad, like that, I was happy because I've been releasing music on DistroKid for years
Mhm.
and it felt nice. I felt like appreciated by them.
Yeah, you got the recognition.
Yeah, sound like that. Uh,
So Okeechobee.
oh yes, Okeechobee Music Festival. That is March 19th through 22nd this upcoming Thursday through Sunday, and we are playing Saturday at 1:30 on the Aquachobi stage,
Woo.
which is right on a beach. Starfish, back to the water.
Oh my gosh.
Perfect.
Perfect. Perfect.
Perfect.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, what else do you have coming up outside of this awesome festival?
We have a show at Philly Style Pizza, which was booked by Fortress,
Mhm.
Fortress PHL. I'm really excited about that because I've been hearing like amazing stories about this pizza shop and on
You've
Temple's
never
campus.
been?
I have never been. I've only gotten pizza there. I've never been to a
What?
show there. My friends have played shows there,
That's
but I've never been
crazy.
able to make it. Um, and Mark actually, didn't you used to live like around the corner?
Yeah, well, I went to Temple, so I
Mhm.
was in Johnson and Hardwick, so that's right across from there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't shows back then, so it's
I think it's pretty
not
recent.
crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. That is March 26th. I think music starts at 5, and there is this band from Kansas City, Missouri, 24-hour video who is touring, and yes, we will be supporting them along with 4 other bands. I think Pale Fire's from Texas. And then Terra Flora from Philly, and I think it's Super Hot from Philly.
Mm.
Um, yeah, very excited for that, March 26th. And then our next show after that is April 10th at the Grape in Manayunk.
Awesome.
It's booked by SNCE Collective. I think it's a new organization.
Mhm.
And then that's with the band Joe and Sleep House, if you're familiar.
I love Sleep House. I just
Wait,
interviewed them.
I was gonna say you just interviewed them, right?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
so cool. I love them. They were
But
funny.
I've never met them in person, but we have the same engineer who does like our
Oh,
mixes,
cool.
um, Joe Terzillo, and I think our mastering engineer Nick Anderson also does their masters.
Mm.
I'd actually take that, or I might have to fact check myself, but I know they work with Joe, the mixing engineer. Um, so yeah, I'm really excited for that and to finally play a show with them.
Yeah.
But those are our gigs lined up for the next month, and we will be playing the lovely sounds of Starfish and some
Nice.
classics.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. I hope all of your shows go very well. I will try to pop out to at least one of them. I really want to come. But for the listeners, make sure you stream Starfish anywhere you can and follow Hue Hinton on Instagram. It's literally just Hue Hinton underscore, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, always remember to stay groovy.